What's up, everybody? Welcome to the newest episode of the Debate Mates. I am Matthew, and I am joined today by the one and only Jack Cashwell. And we got a fun episode planned today. We're doing our NBA awards from MVP to Coach of the Year, all the important NBA awards they give out at the end of the season. Maybe if we're feeling frisky, we'll give out personalized awards at the end. Who knows? Before we start, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Follow us on Instagram at the Debate Mates. And yeah, let's get going. Jack, do you want to choose the first award?
Let's kick it off strong. Let's start with MVP. Got to start off strong. And I feel like there's only one valid option for MVP this year, but I want to hear yours before.
Okay.
So I can make sure you're valid.
I did top 5.
Oh, you did a top 5?
Yeah, because just for MVP, because that's like the most critical award. So 5th, I have Chris Paul.
Okay, that's fair.
16, 5, and 9, second in the West. They were 10th last season. He'll get a lot of votes up there. 4th, I went with Luka. 29, 8, and 9, 5th in the West. Roster that's been injured, COVID-19 protocols, just a lot of uncertainty there. 3rd, Joel Embiid, 29, 11, and 3. First in the East. 2nd, I went with Giannis. Another great season this year.
Okay.
But first, the only acceptable answer, Nikola Jokic.
I'm glad we agree on the only acceptable answer. I'm a little disturbed that you put Chris Paul higher than Steph Curry, but other than that, I would tend to agree with that list.
Curry's stats they're hovering around 500, so I can't have him in my top 5 MVP discussion.
I just feel bad for the man. I feel like he needs a break.
The supporting cast isn't that terrible.
Here's the thing. The players aren't that terrible. Like, you look at it on the surface and you think, okay, they got the number 2 overall pick. They have Draymond Green. They have Kelly Oubre. And they have Andrew Wiggins. But all 4 of those guys have literally been terrible. Like, the names don't mean anything if they're not producing on the level that we expect them to. And they've all been horrendously bad the entire year. Especially Draymond Green, I feel like.
But Draymond Green was named an Avenger in the Marvel game.
That was so stupid.
So why do you have Joker as your MVP this year?
Well, the Nuggets are doing really well. I think they have better odds of going deep in the playoffs than they did last year, where they had that run. But were they really that good, or did they just get a lot of momentum? I don't know. But Jokic is putting up over 25 points a game. He's flirting with a triple-double every night. It seems like every night you see he dropped a triple-double or he scored over 30 points. Double-digit rebounds. He's one of the best rebounders in the NBA. What he lacks in defense, he makes up for with playmaking. He's the best playmaking big, I think, ever. So it's a really easy pick for me. He can be a kind of a point center. He can shoot the ball. He does everything perfectly except defense, which I can forgive because really no player is perfect. Every player has their weaknesses. So, and he's not an incompetent defender. You know, he gets the job done. So he's my top pick for sure.
Yeah, he's a 7-footer with point guard shooting splits. He's 57, 41 from 3, 86 from the line. Only player that's top 5 in total points, rebounds, and assists. Has not missed a single game, and is the only player with a player efficiency rating of 31 besides Wilt Chamberlain, Jordan, LeBron James when he won MVP, unanimous MVP Steph, and MVP Giannis. 10-2 without Jamal Murray. The roster has been – a lot of players have been in and out. Will Barton's been out with the hamstring. Michael Porter Jr. missed a bunch of games early in the season due to COVID protocol. But through it all, Jokic has been consistent. And then even if you want to go towards MVP conversation from the beginning of the year, at the beginning it was Joker, Embiid, LeBron. Then it was kind of just Joker and Embiid, Joker, Steph, Joker, Chris Paul. James Harden was in there at one point. But the only name that's been in there from the start of the season to now when Chris Paul has made his late season surge is Nikola Jokic. So it's a no-brainer for me. So Jack, you agree with me about Joker, but what percentage of votes, if you had to guess, do you think he'd get? Like, I don't think we think it'll be unanimous, but do you think it'll be 80?
It's not going to be unanimous, no. Because here's the thing. You've got, honestly, it probably should be. I don't think Giannis is really going to get any votes because of voter fatigue. Not that he's not having an MVP level season, just that, he won it they don't want him to win another MVP. You know, that's no fun. So Steph Curry may get 1 or 2 sympathy votes. Like outside of that, I think he'll probably get close to 70 to 80% of the votes, would be my guess.
Yeah, you'll always have those hipsters that want to vote Chris Paul or, you know.
Oh, yeah, get out of here. Chris Paul's a great player, and he elevates his team a lot, but he is not like –
and you'll have your
I mean, I hate to say it, I understand it's most valuable, not best, but Chris Paul is literally averaging 16 points a game. Like, you can't have him. He's not an MVP-level player.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Then the ESPN's narrative-based voters will try to steal it from Nicola this season. But he's got too sturdy of a case to get him lower than first place. So you chose the first award. I'll go to the second award. Let's do Coach of the Year. Who you got?
I don't keep up with coaches incredibly well. So correct me if I'm wrong. Thibodeau is coaching the Knicks this year, correct?
Yes.
Then it's him. It's 100% him. Because outside of Julius Randle, he's one of the only things that really changed all that much for the Knicks franchise, and they are literally a playoff team this year for the first time in so many years. We can rave, all we want about how well Julius Randle has played, and I'm sure he'll come up in the most improved player discussion. But at the end of the day, they really needed to change in scenery, and the big problem for the Knicks hasn't always just been their players, which have been really bad for a few years now. It's been their staff. So I really think when they decided to, go with something new and hire Tom Thibodeau to be their head coach, and then all of a sudden they're a playoff team for the first time in like a decade, I think he's got to be in the conversation. He'd be my pick for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you there because their defense has improved a bunch. The other coaches that are going to get consideration, Monty Williams for sure. Suns jumped from 10th seed to 2nd seed. Could even be the 1st seed. I mean, if they finish with the best record in the NBA, it'll be hard not to give it to Monty Williams. And the other team challenging for the best record in the NBA, the Utah Jazz, Quinn Snyder might get a couple votes in there, maybe even win it. But I would give it to Thibodeau.
Yeah. I don't think there's – yeah, go ahead.
Especially because he's in New York, that big market where people really care about how the Knicks are doing. He made the Knicks fun again. They're going to probably have home court advantage in the playoffs. So it's a fun time to be like a Knicks fan, an NBA fan, and Thibodeau deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, you want to go for the next award?
All right. So keeping on the Knicks conversation, most improved player, for me, it's got to be Julius Randle. I feel like that's another kind of no-brainer the way Jokic is, though I'm curious to hear who you think deserves it.
I totally agree. Julius Randle, easily first place. 5 more points than he had last year, shooting better basically from everywhere, on more shot attempts per game. Up to 42.
He's shooting a better percentage from 3 than Steph Curry this year.
Well, I mean,
which obviously on less attempts, but the fact that he's shooting, almost, he's shooting well in the 40s.
Maybe Julius Randle is just a better shooter than Steph Curry. Maybe we have to.
You never know. But he could never be a better shooter than Klay Thompson or Nikola Vucevic, the two GOATs.
Julius Randle just has improved every facet of his game. The Knicks are better. 2nd place, I would have Jalen Brown, going from borderline all-star to
a breakout star this year.
Potentially all-star starter. Kyrie Irving kind of took it away from him there.
Yeah, he's shown this year, Jalen Brown has, that he is basically on the same level, maybe like a hair below Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Because they've been putting up comparable stats this year. Like last year, Tatum was a breakout star. Jalen Brown was another one of those. Yeah, he's pretty good, but did he really live up to the hype type players? And this year was really his year where he's like, he's a 25-point per game scorer. He's shooting it better than he has in the past. So I think it's not that I don't think he's deserving of it. Most seasons, I think he probably would be able to win it. But I think there's really just no argument with how much Julius Randle and his team have improved.
Yeah. All right. You ready to move on to the next one?
All right. Let's hear it.
Let's go Rookie of the Year.
Okay. This might be more controversial.
Okay.
I'm going to say LaMelo Ball. I think most people would pick Anthony Edwards because LaMelo missed significant time. But I may have agreed if LaMelo missed the whole season, but he's back, and the Hornets are set to make the play-in tournament. They might even make the playoffs. The Timberwolves aren't. Granted, they've had a lot of injury problems, but I don't really think that's an excuse. unless it's like there are very few cases in which I think, oh, people got injured is a valid excuse because that's just a part of the game. It happens. That's like that's like excusing the Houston Rockets in that one game where they missed like 27 threes in a row because like they wouldn't normally do that. It's like, yeah, but they did. So that's not really a valid argument. So the way I see it, LaMelo Ball's on a team with less star power that is set to make the playoffs in an East that is becoming more and more competitive compared to the West. All of his stats are better except for points. He's way more efficient. And honestly, I think the fans like him more too. I think he'd be the more popular choice. So
I don't know. Anthony Edwards has had some pretty good interview moments this year.
Yeah, he can be kind of funny at times. I didn't really like the one thing he said that's like, I don't even really watch basketball. Like if didn't he say something like, if the NFL offered me a spot right now, I'd go do it or something like that. That was
way back before the season even started.
I know, but it was still like, that was a red flag. But the thing, this is another one of those situations to me where it's like Trae Young and Luka Doncic when they were going at it. And there was that fake tweet from Dirk Nowitzki that said, like, it's rookie of the year, not rookie of the second half of the year. Anthony Edwards really wasn't that good for the first bit of the season. Since the All-Star break, he really went off. But LaMelo Ball's been consistent all season. So we don't know if this is actually Anthony Edwards' like level of playing or if this is just kind of he's been going crazy since the All-Star break, you know? I think you got to give it to the more consistent player.
I think Anthony Edwards will go on to be a better player than LaMelo Ball. But I agree with you. LaMelo Ball is the rookie of the year this season. 16-6-6. His team actually is winning. They're competitive. They're fun to watch. They have the announcers going crazy. They're on Instagram.
The announcers, right?
Yeah, Hum Diddly D and
Terry.
The Hornets are fun to watch because of LaMelo Ball. And Gordon Hayward's been out for a while now too. I think he should be coming back soon. And even without him, they've stayed steady. Still the 8th seed. Probably will make the playoffs so they can get swept by the 76ers. But it doesn't really matter because that'll be a series that'll be fun to watch. That wouldn't normally be fun to watch, that 1-8 matchup. But with LaMelo Ball, it will be. Edwards is just wildly inefficient. Yeah. And
he's just too inefficient. I think I agree with you when you say he'll probably end up a better player. He's got more potential. He's more athletic. He just has to understand which shots are good shots. And that's a problem I thought LaMelo would have, but he's shot it surprisingly well. So, Anthony Edwards really just needs to play to his strengths, and I think he could be a star in the league. But as of right now, I don't think he's rookie of the year.
Yeah. All right, Jack, you have 2 awards to choose from now. Are we going defensive player of the year or 6th man?
Let's go defensive player of the year.
Okay. You want to start? You want me to?
You go ahead on this one. You can take this one. I got to think about this one.
All right. 3rd place, Ben Simmons. I know that'll be a little controversial because a lot of people have him either 1st or 2nd. But for when you're doing defensive player of the year, most of it is eye test for me. And the 2 players I have ahead of them are all kind of in the same boat. So then I go into advanced stats, and Ben Simmons is the worst in all of those advanced stats. Not to mention he has another lockdown wing defender with him in Matisse Thybulle. Arguably not even the best defensive player on his team with Joel Embiid in there in the center blocking shots and getting players to, scaring them from coming into the paint. 2nd place, I'm going Bam Adebayo. He's switchable. He's 10th in contested 3-pointers per game, which is, pretty crazy. He's also second. Wow. He's 1st in total box outs. So, that doesn't really count for anything. I just thought it was a funny stat that they track that. Another guy that just kind of passes the eye test. He's tall, he's 6'10", and can guard. I know he had that one stat earlier in the year where he was just locking down Kyrie Irving. I don't remember the percentages, but he had done a really solid job on Kyrie in the games they had played against one another. So I'm going him 2nd. And then 1st, it's inevitable. It's Rudy Gobert again. He's giving you 13 rebounds per game.
I hate him.
He's finishing the play on defense with the board. He's giving you a steal, 3 blocks. And for those people that say he only protects the rim, he contests the 2nd most shots in the NBA, which means he has to be getting out to some of those 3-pointers because teams shoot a lot of 3-pointers now. But the most valuable shot is still the layup. And who's better at defending a layup than Rudy Gobert right now? So give it to Rudy Gobert.
But is the layup really the most important shot in basketball right now?
It's the easiest shot in the NBA.
It's the easiest, I guess. I'm going to say this. It's not debate mates if you're not giving hot takes. I really just don't like Rudy Gobert. He was so irresponsible with the mic thing. I know that was forever ago, but he locked down it would have happened anyway. But the fact that it was literally the catalyst was he decided to rub all the mics when everyone was starting to get sick. He locked down the entire league. I'll give him that much. That was great defense. However, I really just don't like him. And I don't think he'll win it. I don't want him to win it, and I don't think he'll win it. I think it's going to be probably Ben Simmons. I want it to be Bam Adebayo because I really like Bam's game, and I think he's a better to guard the last play, a game-winning shot, I'm taking Bam Adebayo out of all three of those to guard, to play defense. Ben Simmons would be second because at the end of the day, Rudy Gobert, he contests a lot of shots. At the end of the day, the only shots that he's legitimately changing are shots inside. And it's less and less these days that players are taking inside shots. The game is going more and more, threes and layups. There's no mid-range, anything like that anymore.
Well, yeah, but who's guarding those layups?
Well, all three of them can. I'm not going to deny that Rudy Gobert is probably the best at the rim. But I'd rather have somebody who's like a 7 out of 10 interior defender and a 7 out of 10 perimeter defender than somebody who's like a 9 out of 10 interior defender, but literally is like a 3 out of 10 perimeter defender. Rudy Gobert can't guard anyone past the free throw line. That and I don't like him. I don't like when he had that feud with Donovan Mitchell because I like Donovan Mitchell. And he's won like twice now? Just give us some other options.
If he wins his third defensive player of the year, what are we going to be talking about? Rudy Gobert in the Hall of Fame going up there with Ben Wallace?
We better not.
Yeah, I think Rudy Gobert.
That will be the day that America dies.
Rudy Gobert is he's got the least swag out of any NBA player. It looks like a 5'8" person just grew one day to 7'3" and is still learning how to use their body.
I know the way he moves is like I just don't like the guy. All right, I'll be honest. It's a little superficial. It's a little childish. I just don't like him.
I'm not a huge fan of him either.
That's my argument. What?
I don't really like him that much either, to be honest.
Oh well, that's fair. There are some NBA players that you just kind of don't like.
He's become the NBA's punching bag.
Him and Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons and Paul George are the NBA's punching bags.
Ben Simmons has gotten really mouthy this year. He was talking smack about Rudy Gobert earlier in the season, saying he scored 42 points on him, even though I believe the stat is he was 2 for 7 when guarded by Rudy Gobert, but whatever. And said, I thought Rudy Gobert was Defensive Player of the Year, and I'm not even a scorer, but I scored 42 points on him. And then he keeps saying that he's Defensive Player of the Year. He's Defensive Player of the Year. So he's kind of annoyed me to the point where I also don't want him to win. Bam Adebayo is the only one that hasn't ruffled my feathers yet on this list.
I'd rather him than Rudy Gobert, but I miss the good old days when the punching bag of the NBA was Russell Westbrook. Can we go back to that?
No, Russell Westbrook. He's been playing amazing, Jack. He must be punching.
No, I don't like him. I don't like his attitude.
He just seems like such
a
nice
rude
guy.
Dude. What? No. He's so mean.
Final award.
All right, whatever.
6th man of the year. Jack, you want to start us off?
I'm going to leave personal biases out of this one. It's Jordan Clarkson. Not because I like his game, but because he's really good.
I'm going with a Utah player, but I'm going with a different Utah player.
Joe?
I'm going with my boy Jingling Joe Ingles.
Oh, well, okay, that's respectable. That's a respectable pick. But Jordan Clarkson, I feel like Jordan Clarkson is one of those examples of like he earned some BC and he forgot how to act. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's all pimped out with the tats. He's got the drip. He's dunking all over everybody. Here's the thing about Jordan Clarkson. Like he came into the league as like a streaky shooter, but he's like a consistent scorer at this point who can facilitate, score. He can take you off the drive, go to the rim, shoot the three. I think he's a big part of what changed for the Jazz this year. I don't think it's just that. I think the Jazz have always had the raw talent to be contenders. They've got Rudy Gobert, he's a good defensive player. Mm-hmm. They've got Donovan Mitchell, who's a superstar, maybe. We maybe might want to start calling him that or taking that into consideration. A great bench. But now they've got Jordan Clarkson, who this has really been his best year, I think. His production has been off the charts. He's scoring better than he was when he was a starter for a lot of teams. I think he's really found his niche and his role with that team, and I think he's been a big part of their success this year.
Yeah, I'm just going with Joe Ingles because I think he affects the game in more ways than Jordan Clarkson. Shooting splits are similar, but Joe Ingles has the edge in all but the free throw percentage. I remember I told you in a video we did a while ago that Joe Ingles is the highest true shooting percentage of all time. Or he might be possibly now. I think he fell down a little bit. Jordan Clarkson kind of secured the award, it felt like, at the All-Star break because he was a borderline All-Star. I think it was Charles Barkley had him in his All-Star reserves. And then he kind of just stayed stagnant, fell off a little bit after the break. And Joe Ingles is just a steady hand in there, 12, 4, and 5. Not jumping off the page, but just solid. He's what you want from a bench player, really. He knows how to keep everybody involved. He keeps the players happy. He can run with the first unit better than Jordan Clarkson can. If you have to add a fifth player into the starting five or to close the game, I would take Joe Ingles over Jordan Clarkson for decision-making and defense.
He's definitely a better veteran-type player for their team. But
Jordan Clarkson will win it, but Joe Ingles, maybe one part because I like him more, second part for a little difference. I'm going Joe Ingles.
All right. It's a respectable pick. I won't drag you for that one. I respect it.
All right, so I think we can call it there. We've got all the awards, Jack. Are there any special little awards you like that you've noticed throughout the season you want to give out?
Not really. I'd have to think of one. Maybe we'll have to try and think of some.
Yeah, maybe that can be a video onto itself. Like how we did the superlatives last year. We can do something like that again.
Yeah, perhaps. We shall see.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning into this video. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Jack, thanks for coming on. And I'll see you guys next time on the Debate Mates.